Hi, this is Nikki Scherer with Omega Horse Rescue. In this YouTube video, we're going to talk to you a little bit about one of the foals that we have with the rescue. His name is Angelo. He is a month-old thoroughbred colt, and he was donated to us when he was born with severely contracted front legs. Because of this, he had trouble standing and nursing, so required initially very intensive treatment, and still has quite a intense protocol for his daily life. When he was first born, because he couldn't get up and nurse, a feeding tube was passed, and this is him when he was just a day old. He was obviously a little bit smaller then, and this is a good representation of what his legs looked like. This is him at around 3 weeks old. So you can see that he can stand now, but his legs obviously are not straight. So we are starting to apply splints to him every night to help straighten his legs and hopefully give him a better prognosis long term. He also has little specially made shoes that we call flippers to help keep his legs straight. And I'm just going to go through a video of the process that we use every night to help put his splints on. We give him a little bit of sedation and then can lay him down so the splints can be applied just by bending his front leg. And then we can basically put some towels down and apply the bandages. So the whole goal of applying the splints is we want to really heavily pad his legs. You can see that he already has a few sores on him. Those were from kind of his early first week when he wasn't able to stand, and as foals lay down they struggle and they get pressure sores, so those wounds are actually healing really nicely at this point, but we want to make sure that he doesn't get any wounds on his legs, so a lot of padding and goes into these bandages, and this is the amount of bandage material that we use every day for him. So this is a heavy, thick cotton roll, and we're going to wrap it all the way around each of his legs. And obviously he is sedate here, so he's not struggling or feeling any discomfort. He has some small wounds on the front of his knee, so we're just applying some SSD cream. It is an antibiotic and antifungal ointment that basically helps those wounds to heal. And then we're continuing up the leg with the cotton. The next part of the bandage is going to be what we call a brown gauze, and this basically allows us to tighten the cotton over his leg so that we can evenly apply pressure, and then we'll put the splint on the back side of his leg after we get the brown gauze applied. You can see that the mare kind of comes into view occasionally during the bandage process. She is not sedated. She's very used to us doing this to him every day, and is perfectly fine. Most of the time she's just hanging out next to us eating some hay. And as we are finishing up the brown gauze here, the next thing that we're going to do is make sure that our splint is directly on the back of his leg and completely straight. Our splint is made of PVC piping, and it's been cut so that it fits his legs perfectly. And then the splint gets secured with duct tape. We have to kind of do this so that it's pretty tight, because the whole goal of the splint is we really want to straighten his leg as much as we can. It acts a little bit like braces do, where if we can slowly change the shape of his leg over time, eventually the legs will be straight again. So you can see that Joa, who's holding the leg there, is pushing the leg against the splint, and then I'm starting to apply the duct tape We're going to do the top and bottom first, and then kind of slowly fill in so the duct tape's covering the entire bandage and splint. Once we do the down leg first. This leg's a little bit harder because you can see we kind of have to lift it up, but it's easier to do both legs on one side so we don't have to worry about flipping him or anything like that. So once we finish this leg, this is kind of when he is the sleepiest from the sedation. So we'll do the down leg first, and then once we finish this leg, we'll move on to the top leg. There's a pretty good picture here of one of his pressure sores, and again, that's just one of the bony points that he lays on quite a bit. So it will slowly heal, and hopefully we'll get hair back eventually, but that'll be much further down the line. You can see the top and the bottom of the splint is also padded, so there's more cotton there and some soft sticky tape so that the top and the bottom of the splints aren't poking him in any way. And so that's what a splint on him looks like. And this is just us finishing the top leg. You can see this one's quite a bit easier to hold, and we can usually do this leg a little bit quicker. And once he has both of his splints on, then we can cover all his wounds with SSD cream and start to get him up. You could tell he's still pretty sleepy here, and now you can see all the wounds are covered with SSD. That's probably the part that he likes the least, so we make sure to do it when he's down and sleepy. He would probably lay there and sleep for quite a while. Once we put him into sternal, he usually wakes up pretty quickly, and it does take him a little bit to adjust to the splints at night, but he's pretty used to walking in them at this point, so he gets the hang of it pretty quickly. And the sedation is a pretty quick acting sedation for him, so all in all, our bandage process takes less than 10 minutes, and he's kind of back to his sassy self within 20 or 30 minutes. Initially, when we were treating him, he had little flippers on his feet on all four legs. The hind legs have improved significantly, so he got those removed, and the right leg is a little bit less severe than the left leg, so he got that one recently removed too. So he's only left with one of his fancy little shoes on the left front there. And sometimes he needs a little bit of encouragement to get up. Usually his next step is always to get a drink of milk, and you guys can see he's still a little bit sedate, but the first place he goes is the mare's udder. He walks around in the splints just fine. He can get up and down in the splints and doesn't have any issues kind of doing his normal things. We splint him at night because he does go out in a round pen for an hour or two a day, so we want to make sure that he doesn't have to move around a whole lot when he has the splints on. So he only keeps these on for 12 hours overnight, and then we take him off in the morning. The nice thing is he's pretty used to this routine, so he'll let us remove the splints and all the bandage material while he's standing there awake. The picture that's up now is a picture of his baby teeth. I just wanted to remind everyone that often foals are born with either no incisors or just 2 incisors on the top row of teeth and 2 on the bottom. The next incisors come in usually around 6 weeks, and then the third set of incisors come in around 6 months. So he only has his first set of incisors at this point. And then this is him walking out to his round pen the next day. He is feeling usually pretty rowdy when he's getting ready to go outside, and so he is excited to head out there with his mom. The mare that he is with, Darla, is a nurse mare. One of the supporters of Omega saw that Angelo needed a new mom, and she had a mare that had a stillborn foal, so it worked out pretty perfectly, and Darla loves him very much, and he is a big fan of hers. So this is the area that they go out in every day, and I think it does both of them quite a bit of good just to be able to be outside and hang out a bit. Most of the time, after he has a little bit of excitement, he lays down and has a nap in the sun while Mom grazes. And despite his legs being a bit abnormal, he doesn't really know that he's not a normal foal. So he still does all the normal foal things of playing and bucking and sometimes being mean to his mom. But he's a really good boy. He's just started to try to do things that Mom does, like graze and eat hay, and so it's pretty fun seeing him get older. He's still not quite sure how he's supposed to reach down and get the grass with his long, gangly legs. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hopefully will have more soon. If there's anything in particular that you'd like to see, please feel free to message us on our Facebook page, or you can email either Kelly or myself by going to, you can find our information at www.omegahorserescue.com.